And good afternoon, everybody. I am back with another video. I am on Carpenter Lane behind the Washington Street Mall. And I'm starting here because this is more or less where the Craig McManus Ghost Walk Tour starts. The tour actually begins right outside that brick structure that you can see, which is the used to be a bank and City Hall many years ago. It's now the Winterwood Christmas store. But the tour starts just outside that, and there are stories of a spirit that haunts the second floor of that building. But then the tour walks down to this point, and you can see that two-story blue building that I'm looking at, and there is, according to Craig McManus anyway, the spirit of a dentist that used to operate out of the second floor of that building, again, long ago. So, it starts outside the Winterwood, comes down to this point, stops here, talks about the spirit of that dentist. I forget the guy's name, but I'm sure all of this is contained in his books. He has 3 books on the ghosts of Cape May. So he comes out here and walks down to Jackson Street, which is the next street, not this one that I'm at here, but the next street. And according to Craig McManus, Jackson Street is the most haunted street in all of Cape May. And he said there are only a couple of structures on Jackson Street that are not haunted. And he talks about ghosts being spirits that have not been able to move on because of some unfinished business that they have, and that could be anything really. He says that ghosts are spirits and they don't always get seen. Oftentimes they are felt as much as seen. So you go into a room and he says you can feel a presence around you. So he comes down here and he points out that this particular spot right here is the highest elevation in Cape May. He turns and comes down here. This is Jackson Street, and he claims that most of these structures are haunted, and he gives sort of a little history on each spot that he stops to talk about the haunting in that place. Coming up on my right is the Saltwood House right here, and he stops right where I'm pulling over between the George Baum house and the Saltwood House. And he talks about George Baum. George Baum this is a private residence now, but George Baum was a very successful Moroccan leather importer. And that is the Virginia Hotel right across the street. And he talks about the fact that George Baum had a mistress that he put up in the house, the Saltwood House, right next to it. And when his wife passed away, the mistress moved over into the George Baum house, and he found another mistress that he put up in the Saltwood House. He pointed out that there are many stories of people that were guests at the Virginia Hotel and staff that hear noises in the middle of the night where there shouldn't be anybody there. And one of my neighbors down here has a daughter that worked in the Virginia Hotel. She was, I don't know what position she had, but she went to graduate school for hotel management. But she has sort of verified from her perspective that she has heard strange sounds coming from empty rooms. Craig McManus also talks about the fact that Tina Fey, who is a frequent visitor every summer to Cape May, stays in the Virginia Hotel, and she has had a couple of experiences such that she has reached out and hired Craig McManus personally to give her a tour. And so anyway, all of these buildings, there are stories of spirits that haunt them. This is the Seven Sisters, which I pointed out before, but even coming down Jackson Street to the point where there is this golf course on the left-hand side, many years ago there was a structure here that was haunted, and he said to this day, in the middle of the winter, people report seeing a strange figure walking around that golf course at night. By night, he's talking about like 2 o'clock in the morning, dressed up in garb of, sort of the 1700s. So he comes along here and he turns up Perry Street. This home right here, actually the owner of that home happened to be on the ghost tour that we were on, that my wife and I were on. And he started talking about hauntings of that building, and that years ago he has personally gone in there to to do whatever it is he does. And the new owner of that building, which I said happened to be on the ghost tour, started sharing her own stories of things that she's been experiencing in that. So the tour turns and comes to a stop here in front of Congress Hall. And he has a lot of stories about hauntings in Congress Hall. He takes great pains to encourage people to be skeptical but not cynical. And he says that there are always things that you can't explain, and you should keep an open mind. But I don't know. It seems to me it's just a good thing for the business here. It's the whole ghost tour thing and the hauntings is a very good way to keep the business community active in the October-November season. And as I said earlier, conveniently, all of the spirits that presumably haunt Cape May are benevolent, which is very conducive for the business community. So that's a little bit about the Craig McManus Ghost Tour. Again, you can, if you're interested, you can Google him. I'm sure he has his own websites, and he has his own Facebook group, Ghosts of Cape May. Anyway, I'm going to just ride around and try to show the Washington Street Mall as I've done before. I can't go down the Washington Street Mall, of course, but I can stop and film looking down. So this is the Perry Street end of the mall. Again, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is Jackson Street. I'll stop for a moment on Jackson and try to give a view of the mall. I know I'm going around the circle here, but I want to get down to the next block. I'm not going to turn on Jackson. And this is Decatur. Looking down towards Ocean. And looking back up towards Jackson. have not been to this cricket club yet this year. This is new. It replaced the Marion Inn. And this is the other end of the Washington Street Mall. So that's what town looks like today on October 27th. It's a beautiful day, as you can see on the video. Wall-to-wall blue skies. Perfect day for riding and a perfect day for walking along the beach or the mall. And there are many, many, many more places that are reputed to be haunted in Cape May beyond what I showed on this video. I just wanted to replicate the 1-hour ghost tour walk that my wife and I went on, but Craig McManus has 3 books that he's published on the ghosts of Cape May. So the number of places that we stopped is just what he could fit into a 1-hour tour. This is Elaine's. And I will stop this video up at the light here, and then I'll record my ride back to North Cape May as is my practice. Okay, again, thank you very much for watching. I will be back recording the ride back to North Cape May. Take care.